Good morning, people. I'm not going to shuck and jive with this one because this is kind of crazy, but it's not surprising. I was looking at the news today and I ran by a story of a 6-year-old black child trying to retrieve his bicycle from an Asian American man's yard. It was his bicycle, but it was in the Asian American's man's yard. The Asian American man came out with a sledgehammer and the child ran. The child came back to retrieve his bicycle. The Asian man started shooting out the window. Several kids was out there playing, and the bullet could have went anywhere. But the 6-year-old child was struck in the arm with one of the bullets. Okay, the Asian American man was arrested and was released on a $10,000 bond. But what's surprising to me is that they had a bond in it at all. It doesn't surprise me that the bond was so low because I know how white judges feel about black people. He probably would have let him go with no bond at all, but he just had to do something, I guess. So he set the bond as low as he can because black lives don't mean anything to white people and white judges and the white judicial system. The father was interviewed and said that he wondered why the bond was so low. But this is what I'm wondering. Why is the kid going to retrieve his bicycle from a grown man's yard and his father is at home? Why couldn't the kid have came and got his father to retrieve his bicycle? That let me know several things. One of all, he didn't trust his father to be man enough to go and retrieve his bicycle. Second of all, the father said that he was scared for his life if the Asian man returned. Sounds like a coward to me. If it was my grandchild that had been shot, put it this way, it never would have got to that point because it's easy for a 29-year-old man to shoot at a child. But let's see how easy it is for a 29-year-old Asian man to shoot at another man that's shooting back at him. You see what I'm saying? Everybody think it's all right to victimize black people. And black people are fighting for the rights for Asians not to be discriminated against. A legislation has been passed on the behalf of Asian people far as Asian American violence. But what about the violence and the atrocities that Asians are committing against other races, mainly black people? I have several stories. One of them is from California, where a young black girl was asked to leave an Asian store. She put the items on the counter and was proceeding to leave the store, and the Asian woman shot her in the back of the head. And I have several more stories of black people going to Asian restaurants and being denied service based on them wearing tennis shoes inside the restaurant. So, black people, we are up here fighting for the rights of Asian Americans not to be discriminated against. And these are the very people that are discriminating against us. Black people, we are confused and we have our priorities mixed up. Why don't we try to obtain our freedom first before we start fighting for other people? And black men, why is children having to stand up to uh, men when we are supposed to be doing it? Black women and black children are being victimized by other races, and black men are not worried about nothing but their gold and something to drink and something fancy to ride around in and showcase. We have been made to look like weak fools, black men. When are we going to stand up? Martin Luther King said, if you don't have something that you're willing to sacrifice your life for, your life is not worth living. Black men, what are we going to sacrifice our life for? I can think of nothing better than our children and our women. See, we have to stand up. The judicial system is not going to protect us. The only somebody that's going to protect us is us. Just us. Just us. For the Asian people that's out here committing atrocities against us, it's easy to shoot at women and children. But what happens when you're shooting at a man that's shooting back at you? Keep that in mind when you mess with the wrong person's child. It won't be no judge to give you bail. It's going to be a coroner to put you in a ground and send you to hell. That's one black man's opinion. I'm out of here. The Silverback Gorilla, Northside Bessemer. Peace.